picks. What have I gotten myself into? Whoa, Holly picks, yeah, Holly picks. She picks my shirt, she picks my shoes. We'll be all across the country, just like a ride down Route 66. So Saturday at noon, this is where to tune, right here at Holly Picks.
Yeah. I mean, Holly's Picks is just, it's getting huge. It's unstoppable. I can barely walk down the street without paparazzi coming at me from every corner. It's just, it's crazy. No, you listen to me. You tell George Clooney, if he wants to go on a talk show, he can take himself to Jimmy Kimmel or Stephen Colbert. My contract said one guest and one guest only. That is it. Oh, Mom, we're live. Hello, everyone. My goodness, I had no idea we were live just then. It's so crazy. Welcome back to episode 2 of Holly Picks. It is a beautiful day in Southern California. We are ready to answer more questions. Thank you guys for submitting. You know, this would quite literally be absolutely impossible without everyone's participation. So thank you so much. And we are going to get started with that. So today, my first and only guest proves that purses are not just fashionable on women. He would eat graham crackers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner if no one would judge him for it. And he holds the record for the greatest amount of hair product owned by any human ever. Coming to us all the way from the kitchen, Camp Cronin, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! Wow. Well, I'll have you know that this particular man purse, your mom and I were at a movie recently. Afterwards, we bumped into Motley Crue bass player and buddy of ours, Nikki Sixx. And Nikki's wife noticed my man purse and asked to see it. And when I showed it to her, Nikki unwrapped it from his shoulder. We have matching man purses. So if it's cool enough for Nikki Sixx, you know what I'm saying?
It's cool enough for you.
Cool enough for me.
Well,
I rest my case.
Ladies and gentlemen. All right, Dad. So let's get started.
How are you today, Holly? How are you? You look great.
I love your shirt.
Well, you ought to love it. You picked it.
I did. Sure did.
This shirt, I think this shirt dates back to the early '80s.
Wow.
And it's one of a kind.
It's one of a kind. That's why I picked it. All right, so let's get started with these questions.
All right. Now, are you? What I heard through the grapevine is that you're going to be trying to stump me a little bit more this week. The questions might be a little tougher.
They might be a little tougher.
All right, wait a minute. I need a little.
Cheers.
Yeah. Ooh, that
delicious.
Grey Goose, nice.
Go
downstairs,
yeah.
Right at noon.
Loosens me up a little bit. I was feeling a little tense before the show. Now I'm feeling good.
Great. Thanks, Holly.
You're welcome. All right. So again, I just want to reiterate, my dad has not seen these questions. He has no idea what I'm about to ask him, so it is live. That is showbiz, baby.
Man,
live.
The pressure's on.
The pressure is on.
Let me just gather myself
take some deep
here.
breaths. Yeah, no, take your time.
Yeah, this is, I'm not used to this.
Yeah, unlike anything you've ever done before.
I know, this is amazing. Wait, one more.
Here we go.
Woo!
All right, question 1.
Question 1.
What are some things that you like in your dressing room before a live performance?
Well, I like privacy.
Okay.
I need to spend about 20 minutes before I go on stage doing the vocal warm-ups, which of course you've heard,
yes,
which sound like a bird in heat.
Yes.
To say
yes. Birds of death.
And so I just kind of gather myself. I think about where I am and think about my experiences in the city that I'm playing. If there's any,
I think they're talking more material things.
Not emotional.
Not emotional things. Leave that emotional baggage at the door.
All right. Well, of course, graham crackers.
Of course.
If there's not a box of graham crackers in the dressing room, you can't
go on stage.
That tells me that the promoter did not look at the dressing room rider. And so there's 2 things that I like. Some graham crackers and some Ricola lemon mint throat lozenges.
Of course.
In my man purse here, I have I'm always stocked. I've always got at least
Always.
40 to 50 Ricolas on hand.
Yes. So now you know if he ever cancels a show, it's probably because there weren't graham crackers and
Yes.
Ricolas in the dressing room.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Question number 2. Which REO album is your favorite?
Which, well, that's kind of like asking which of my children is my favorite. I mean, there's so, which, so, well, if I had to pick, well, one favorite, maybe I would pick You Can Tune a Piano, But You Can't Tune a Fish.
Great title as well.
It was a fun title, it was the first album that we got to produce ourselves. Gary and I were the producers. That artwork on the cover is actually a fish with a tuning fork stuffed down its throat, held up against the sky of Joshua Tree National Monument. Back in 1978, there was no such thing as Photoshop. Everything was real.
It was real.
So, yeah, that was probably my favorite.
Good answer.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Good answer. All right.
Ding.
Dang. Question number 3. What's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. Wow. That's a good one. My biggest pet peeve is once in, this is having to do with REO Speedwagon. Once in a while, the setup backstage is such that I don't have a private dressing room. So I'm back in my dressing room trying to all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Now, the guys in REO Speedwagon, I will tell you this, they are funny dudes. I mean, we laugh a lot. I mean, it's probably part of the reason why we've been able to stay together as long as we have. So I'm sitting there trying to get my head on because I got to be the front man. I got to be the spokesman. And Neil's over there cracking jokes. Dave's laughing. Bruce is playing guitar. I can't hear myself.
Seems like a little bit of a diva, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's my pet peeve.
All right. Question number 4.
So am I 3 for 3?
You're 3 for 3.
3 for 3. Okay, good.
You so far, yeah. Those are the answers that I had. Correct.
All right,
Yeah.
excellent.
All right. Question number 4. With all that you and REO have accomplished, do you have anything left on your musical bucket list to fulfill?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, let's see. What would I want to do that I haven't done? I mean, I would kind of like to meet Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
That's
a big one.
I've met a lot of great artists over the years, and I've had a chance to collaborate with some as well. And everyone who I talked to, Dave met Paul in the studio. He was doing a session a few years back. And so I'm, of course, very jealous of Dave for that. And he said that Paul was just like the sweetest, nicest, human being.
How could he not be?
I know. He's Paul.
He's Paul. And he's your inspiration. I mean, he's really
Nice.
the reason why you're doing what you're doing. So I feel like, yeah, that's kind of the last thing to check off.
I know.
That makes sense.
I need that. I need to meet Paul. We did meet his band, though. Remember?
Yes.
When we played Summerfest the day before Paul, we came to the bar in the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, and I recognized the guys in Paul's band, or they recognized me, and we hung with them, and they told us very nice people, and they told us about Paul's work ethic, which is crazy. They told us he does an hour-and-a-half sound check in the afternoon for an audience of about 500 people, and then he comes on and plays for 3 hours that night and sings, everything from Yesterday to Long Tall Sally.
Right.
The guy is,
and even in 3 hours, he can't get through every song.
No.
Is like a hit.
Right.
It's crazy. I'll never forget at Summerfest, because I think you had to leave before Paul went on or something like that.
No, I had a show the next night, so I left town,
So
and you
left,
guys stayed
and
behind.
we saw Paul McCartney, and I'll never forget, my mom and I we were at the show, and we saw this big Summerfest poster of Paul McCartney that was hanging kind of in like the back hallway. And Mom was like, "Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be a great gift for your dad?" And I was like, "Yes, oh my gosh, a Paul McCartney poster from Summerfest, how cool." So we asked one of the security guards, we're like, "Hey, do you mind if we just take down that poster?" And they were like, "No, ma'am. Those posters are not to be taken anywhere. They are only for Summerfest." And of course, my mom.
He said that to your mom. Yes,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah, he didn't know who he was talking to. So my mom was like, "Oh, of course. Yeah, of course." He walks away. We steal the poster and we run out and we still have it. We framed it for you. So
that's awesome. And not only did your mom pilfer that poster, but your mom had, oh, wow. Your mom, does that mean I'm talking too long?
It means you have an email.
No. But Mom has a thing where whenever we travel on international flights, the airplanes serve wine in these tiny little wine glasses.
Well, I don't know if we should out her. She might get banned from traveling
Lufthansa?
yeah.
But so she takes one of these little wine glasses, puts it in her bag, and the whole time we're going through customs, she's like sweating bullets,
Right.
thinking that
She
the
wants the
custom
tiny
agent.
wine
Yeah,
glass.
I know.
The things that people will do.
I know.
Crazy.
We love her.
We do not condone stealing, by the
No,
way, on this show.
don't.
We do not. We are not sponsored by stealing.
That was just a fictional story.
That we completely
We
made
made
up.
it up.
We made it
I
up.
thought it was pretty good.
It was one big lie.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question. What is your best memory of growing up in Chicago?
Wow. Yeah, growing up in Chicago was awesome. I mean, I love the city of Chicago. It's just got the best of both worlds. You know, big city, you know, the great restaurant, the art scene, the music scene, but it's also got kind of a Midwestern small town mentality because people live their whole lives there. They're not leaving and coming back. But my best memory, wow, I've got so many. I mean, one of my best memories was back in, I believe it was actually the year you were born. And President Bill Clinton, his campaign was using our song, Building the Bridge, for his reelection campaign. And so I got the call to meet him in Chicago for a rally on the patio of the Chicago Municipal Building under the giant Picasso sculpture that's there. And so I got to sing a couple of songs right before President Clinton spoke.
Wow.
And so there I am on stage in front of 15,000 people just with my acoustic guitar. And as I'm standing there, it's going through my head what a journey my guitar has taken me on, from taking guitar lessons in Chicago as a 12-year-old kid to seeing the Beatles on TV for the first time to playing clubs all over town. And
now you're opening it up for Bill Clinton.
I'm hanging with Bill Clinton. That was pretty cool.
Crazy. Yeah. That's a good one.
All right, thank you.
That was correct.
All right, bing. We need those little bells, like little hotel bells.
Well, if you guys want episode 3, we promise to bring in a bell.
A bell. We're bringing in a bell. We're upping our production.
Our production, yes. All right, question number 6.
Number 6. Okay.
What's the last concert you bought a ticket for?
I buy tickets for every concert I go to.
Yes.
Yes. No, I actually do like to buy tickets for concerts. I don't like getting.
Well, it wasn't a concert, but we bought tickets to see Hamilton, which was unfortunately canceled. But we definitely bought tickets for that.
Yeah, no, I bought tickets to see Nothing But Thieves when I took the boys.
Jacob Collier.
Jacob Collier. We still have tickets to see Jacob Collier.
Yes.
Hopefully that concert will happen. So, no, buying tickets is, I mean, I could probably get them for free if I wanted to, but I feel like, artists make a living on people buying tickets to their shows. And since I never give away free tickets to any of our shows, that's a lie. No, but, you give away free tickets to your family and friends.
Yeah, of course. All right.
How'd I do? Is that okay?
That was okay.
Okay.
That's okay. Question number 7. Will you ever grow that awesome hair again? And for those of you that need a visual, the awesome hair that this question is referring to happens to look a little bit like this.
Wow.
That is the awesome hair that we are speaking of.
Let's see what we're talking there, huh? Oh, baby. Yeah, that's late 70s. That was the apex.
Yeah.
That was the high point.
This was peak hair.
That was peak long curly blonde. And just to set the record straight here, I'd like to tell it unequivocally that I never permed my hair. People would say, "What's with the perm?" That's the perm.
No perm. Look, you can see the curls right now, live.
I'm a curly guy.
I say that, we're in quarantine. You got nowhere to be.
Well,
let's just see how far it can go.
I have no choice but to grow my hair, and I'm kind of liking the freak
very
flag getting there,
voluminous.
And so, I just may do it. You never know.
Good.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Wait, what was the question again?
Will you ever grow that awesome hair again? The answer is yes, right now.
Thank you.
Currently. All right. Question number 8. This is the last question I have for you.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Holly. The show's just starting.
Oh, but we have plenty. We have a lightning round.
Oh, boy.
And we have live questions.
Okay.
So, all right. Question number 8. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Wow. Well, I would tell my all right, I'll tell you exactly what I would tell my 16-year-old self. That if somebody's bullying you, you don't let them win. Someone's bullying you, because I was kind of skinny. I was a musician, back when I was in 16, playing the guitar was not exactly cool. It was just
Right.
starting to be a little bit
Now
cool.
it's like the coolest thing a 16-year-old boy can do.
Of course. But back in Oakland, Illinois, if you were walking down the street with a guitar case, you might as well have had a target on your back.
Right.
If a carload of, greasers, as we used to call them, would drive by, they'd see me, and it's like, okay, kick his butt.
Right.
But finally, I stood up to the bully.
Yes.
My buddies set up a fight. Literally, it was like.
All right, we don't condone fighting either.
No, we don't.
We
But
don't condone it.
and let me finish the story. So they set up this thing on the stairs of my high school on a Saturday afternoon, and this guy who was like harassing me, and my buddies, late great Donnie Kennedy and Mike Madden, were like, "Dude, you just got to go and face this guy."
Mhm.
And I don't know how to fight. I've never,
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. Went there, waited for the guy. He never showed up. And guess who never got bullied again?
You.
Thank you. So you don't have to fight. You just got to stand up for yourself and not
So to
take
clarify, we don't condone stealing.
No.
We don't condone fighting, but we do condone standing up for yourself.
it. Yes. And peace.
And peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. All right, now it's time for the lightning round.
Oh, boy.
This is.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, take a sip. Take a sip.
Ooh, man. That stuff is strong at noon.
I know.
I'm usually not hitting the hard stuff till 2:30.
At least 2:30. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Are you ready? Are you prepared? No time to
No,
think.
I'm not prepared. How do you mean am I prepared? How can I be prepared?
He's as prepared as he can be.
Holly picks. I don't pick.
True.
I pick the guitar.
True. That's it. All right, so again, no thinking. I don't want any thought process. I want immediate. I want in the now.
You can
Unfiltered.
You can count on me for no thought process.
Yes.
For pretty much.
That is true. All right, here we go.
All right.
Favorite piece of clothing?
This shirt.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite snack?
Graham crackers.
Obviously. Favorite animal?
Cat.
Favorite sport?
Basketball.
Favorite book?
Oh boy. Drama of the Gifted Child.
Great. Favorite candy?
Favorite candy. Reese's peanut butter cups.
No, Baby Ruth's.
Oh, Baby Ruth.
Tie.
I got it wrong.
All right. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show. Ozark.
Most charismatic person in the room?
That was a rhetorical question. I
That
take
was
it.
rhetorical.
Okay.
All right. So now we're gonna take some.
Wow. Wait, how? I worked up a sweat for that. You gotta.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm fast
I know,
paced.
you
I know what
wanna
I'm doing.
keep-
I'm a professional.
You want to
moving.
keep it moving.
All right. No time to waste.
Man.
All right. So now we're gonna go look at some of the live questions that you guys have been submitting throughout the entire show,
Okay.
and we're gonna choose
Wow, look at
choose
this.
some of
This is
those.
amazing.
This is amazing.
The beauty of
Look
it.
at all of these.
Wow.
All right. Let's see.
Well, I don't even get to pick, so I don't even know why I'm looking.
I know. Okay. Let's see.
I have no power.
Oh, this one's good. What band do you believe was the most competitive with REO over the years?
The most competitive. Well, I'll tell you what. Back when I was in high school, there was a battle of bands, Brother Rice High School. My band was called Fuchsia. And there was a group called the TW4. And they were from a different high school, a different neighborhood. They were a couple of years older than us. But I heard through the grapevine, and they were going to be our opponent in the Battle of Bands. So I hear through the grapevine that they've got a really talented lead singer, keyboardist by the name of Dennis DeYoung. Right? And I'm like, oh, who's this Dennis DeYoung guy? So we have this Battle of Bands. Actually, I tell the whole story in my upcoming memoir, Roll with the Changes, My Life Within and Without REO Speedwagon. But
so you're gonna have to read
you're
the
gonna
book
have to get the book. I mean,
to find out the rest of the story, right?
Dennis is an ongoing story throughout my career. He doesn't know that. He'll find out.
He will when he reads the
When he
book.
reads the book.
There's nothing better in Hollywood than a good cliffhanger, Dad.
Exactly.
I say we leave it there.
All right, let's leave it at that.
Good cliffhanger. All right. How about this one?
Right.
Time makes no difference on you. You look very young. How do you do it?
All right. I think that's a trick question. I really think that's a trick question because, I do have a mirror in my house. So I'm quite aware of how time has changed. But you know what? Mentally, I still, I walk out on stage and I'm 28 years old. I'm ready to rock and roll. I don't think I've lost a step
There's
as
no
far as that
stopping
goes,
you.
you know? And so I think that your mental outlook on things is what kind of keeps you young.
Yeah.
And
Couldn't agree
so,
more.
right. So, you gotta eat healthy
Mhm.
whenever you can. You gotta do those exercises, keep yourself in some kind of decent shape, but it's mostly in
All
your,
up here.
in your head.
Forget the skincare products. It's all mental. All right. Let's go. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
I actually kind of want to know this one too.
Okay.
What's the hardest song to sing in the REO catalog?
Ooh, boy. There are some that are more difficult than others. And there was one song in particular where I had written this sweet little acoustic kind of a lullaby song called In My Dreams. And it was kind of this soft acoustic song. And then in 1987, I thought, that song never really had a chorus. And in order to record it with REO Speedwagon, I kind of felt like it'd be cool to have a chorus. So I called up my friend Tom Kelly, who had sung back, the beautiful high background part on Keep on Loving You.
Mhm.
That's Tom singing.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
And Tom is a hugely talented guy. Him and his partner, Billy Steinberg, wrote Like a Virgin for Madonna. They wrote True Colors for Cyndi Lauper, just like crazy.
Yes.
And so I got together with Tom and we wrote the chorus for In My Dreams. Then we put the chorus and the verses together, and the key of the song either is too low for the verses or too high for the chorus.
A classic dilemma.
It is. It's a classic dilemma, and it's been plaguing me ever since. But on Songs and Stories from Camp Cronin, we're getting in the point of the REO story. We're getting, this Thursday we'll be hitting the High Infidelity album.
Ooh.
And we're going in chronological order. So when we get to In My Dreams, there's going to be a special guest who's going to help me sing the song. And I'm not going to give it away. It could be someone who lives here or not. I'm not going to say for sure.
We don't know.
But tune in.
Tune in to find out.
Exactly.
All right, let's do a couple more of these. And then I heard you got some questions for me too, right?
I do.
We're turning the tables a little bit.
Yes, it's a little segment we like to call, if you're tired of the same old story, turn the tables.
Turn the tables. All right. Oh, this is a good one.
Okay.
What song do you think was Gary's best, and which one do you like to sing?
Well, I'll tell you what. We were in the rehearsal stage for the album, which would become the High Infidelity album. We didn't know at the time. And Gary and I were just going through his lyric notebooks, listening to some of his demos. And I was just about to leave his house. And he goes, I got this one song. It's kind of a slow song. I don't know if it's any good. You want to hear it? And I'm like, well, slow songs are normally my department, But I'm like, yeah, sure, let's hear it. So we go back to his studio. He plays this demo, and I hear, heard it from a friend who, heard it from a friend who, heard it from another, you've been messing around. And I'm like, dude,
yeah,
you just about didn't play me the song with the best opening line that either of us have ever written in our entire life. And so Take It on the Run was, the song was originally called Don't Let Me Down.
Ah.
And but the chorus started with "Take It on the Run, Baby," and I'm like, Gary, the title of the song has to be "Take It on the Run." He was like, yeah, you're right, and that was kind of the way Gary and I collaborated.
Mm-hmm.
He would listen to my songs and just kind of with Roll with the Changes. I thought I needed to write a chorus to Roll with the Changes.
Mm-hmm.
I played the song for Gary. He's like, dude, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You already have a chorus. I'm like, well, what? What's the chorus? Duh.
Keep on rolling.
Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So,
that's all it took.
Yeah. So Take It on the Road. But Gary had so many. I mean, Riding the Storm Out was the first kind of hit that REO had. That was Gary's tune. I mean, Golden Country is a classic REO song. There were,
he's got many.
He does. And, we miss Gary.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish so much that he were still with us and able to experience this resurgence that REO Speedwagon has felt over the past. We kind of, when Gary left, we were kind of at a low point in 1989. And, we've been building ourselves back up, and it's just gotten to the point that we're, playing great venues, having these amazing experiences. And, Gary really deserves to be there because he was such a big part of, and without Gary, without Gary, none of us would be here. So,
we love you, Gary.
Yeah, we love you.
Yes.
But that said, Dave came in and,
does a great job.
Does a great job.
Yes.
He threaded the needle between being reverent of what Gary created and making the REO songs his own.
Flavor of things. Totally. Yes. Dave also rocks.
Yes.
All right. So you want to turn some tables and maybe ask?
Yes. You might want to have a sip of your cocktail there, Holly. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now I've had to clear my throat for the past 20 minutes, so I'm going to turn my head this way.
Classic.
Wow.
We're live.
All right, Holly.
All right.
Here we go. My throat is full of something. All right. So, Holly, what is the greatest piece of life knowledge? What is the greatest piece of life knowledge your dad or mom gave you about the music industry? Because let me say that Holly graduated from USC last year and had interned with a number of different music companies, the Nederlander organization, CAA in New York, the top booking agency in the world, Warner Brothers Records, and just to kind of see what she wanted to do. Now, truth be told, Holly is an amazing singer, actress, dancer.
I'm not a triple threat.
I've been telling you that since you were about 5.
Stop.
And it's true. So, but Holly decided that she was going to start out at least, behind the scenes and learn the music business. So she's been working at CAA now for going on a year and killing it.
Thanks.
I might say,
Thanks.
Got a nice raise.
Well, it's kind of funny because I feel like your advice for the music industry kind of applies to Josh and Shane, and Mom's advice for the music industry applies to me because my mom worked on the business side, so that you kind of handle the boys and Mom kind of handles me. But I feel like my mom taught me to be aggressive. I was always kind of someone who was really shy. I was afraid to ask for things. If I thought I was inconveniencing someone, I was like, I'll just leave. I just won't do it. So she taught me that, if you want something, you got to go after it. You can't feel sorry for yourself if you don't try. And then I feel like what you taught me is just to always be nice to everyone, whether that's because you never know what someone's going through or because you never know who you could be talking to. You might think that you're just talking to some assistant, but their dad is the owner of, Sony or something.
Right.
You just have to be nice to everyone because especially in LA, you never know who people know.
Right.
So I would say those are probably the two biggest things: to be aggressive, but to also be nice.
Right.
Yeah.
that kind of reminds me of the Jeff Garland story, right? So Jeff Garland, who's what's the name of his television show? The Goldbergs. The Goldbergs.
Yes.
He also plays Larry David's manager on Curb Your Enthusiasm. But when he was in college, he worked as a concert security guard in Miami. So we were playing in Miami at the Coliseum down there, and I wanted to watch the opening act. So I kind of snuck around and put a baseball cap on, went to the very top last row of the arena and sat there. And that was where Jeff was stationed to do security. So he recognized me, comes up and sits down, and we start talking, shooting the breeze, and he was really cool. And we talked for like 15, 20 minutes. Now, I don't remember this per se, but years later, I'm on an airplane, and I'm a huge Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, right?
Aren't we all?
I mean, it's just the best show ever. Actually, when you asked me what my favorite television show,
I thought you were going to say Curb.
I know, Curb really. I mean, Ozark's great, but Curb is right there.
It's close tie.
So Jeff comes up and tells me this story, and as he's telling the story, I don't know what the end of the story is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be, and you were a total, a-hole or whatever, but it turns out, he goes, and you were totally cool, you're totally nice to me, and
look where he is now,
Look where he's now, and as a result, Can't Fight This Feeling is on the Goldbergs, all the time.
See, so be nice to everyone.
Be nice to everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Question number
gotta
two.
rush through these now.
Yeah. Well, how? We're doing it right here. Okay. Number 2, did you ever wish your dad had a 9-to-5 job? How did him being on the road for months at a time affect you and your family?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I never wish you had a 9-to-5 ever.
Thank you.
And maybe that's just because when you're young and something is just so normalized, you don't think of it being any other way. I was never like, oh, my dad should have an office job. Just like, no, that's what he does. But I feel like the reason, honestly, why I didn't feel that affected by it. I mean, maybe when I was little and I couldn't really understand why you were leaving. I think once I was able to conceptualize why you were leaving and coming back, it became a lot easier. But I think when you were gone, having you not there, there was kind of a little bit of a void, right? Not having, and there are plenty of dads that travel. You don't just have to be a musician. It could be any job. But what Mom did is that she helped fill that void with so much other love. So I never really felt this absence because when you were gone, we had so many other people around us. My grandma was living with us. We have an amazing woman, Lily, who lived with us when we were little kids, who basically helped raise us, and she's still very close with us today. So there were so many other people that were filling the house with love that it never seemed, I never resented you or wished that you would have been home at 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, and also, when I look at it, what your mom did, I mean, we have to have Mom on as a guest sometime.
Oh, yeah.
She's just
she's a stellar woman.
She's a special person.
Yes.
And what she did was she made sure that you guys were never enamored by what I did or anything. I was dad, and you guys knew that I was, out in the road singing songs, but there was no.
Yeah, we didn't understand why.
Yeah, there was no red carpet rolled out.
No.
As a matter of fact, maybe the opposite.
We had to keep them humble.
and you've done a good job.
We did, yeah.
All right, so question number 3. Holly, be honest. Okay. Have you ever used the quote, "Do you know who my dad is?" unquote line?
No. Oh my God, no. Quite the opposite, actually.
True.
I'll never forget when I was interning
in New York,
right?
I was just gonna
at
say.
the company that represents my dad. You had a show in New York, and you were like, "Hey, let me take you out for lunch," during your lunch break. So I was like, "All right, cool." And I remember you texting me and saying, "So can I come up and say hi?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "You stay in the lobby. You can't be seen by anyone." I was like, "You wait outside if you have to." I'm so the polar opposite.
Which I love, which I think is great.
It's part of keeping them humble.
Exactly. But that was funny because that was when we played Jones Beach Amphitheater the next night, and you came out and sang "Camp Cronin" with us. That was, and we had done it before, but I think it had been a while, and we kind of tweaked the arrangement a little bit at Jones Beach, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. All right, so question number 4, and this is not a trick question. Okay, got to be a quick answer. Okay. Who's your favorite band?
I know what you want me to say. I'm not going to say it. My favorite band. I feel like I'm more of a favorite artist type of girl than favorite band, but.
Okay, favorite artist. Who's your favorite artist? Favorite musical artist?
Oh, man. It's like asking who your favorite child is.
Okay, you can say your favorite male artist and your favorite female artist. How about that?
Okay, I'm going to do my 2 favorite male artists and my 2 favorite female artists because I simply can't choose.
It's not exactly what the question was, but it's okay.
I'm under pressure. Okay. I'm going to say James Taylor and John Mayer for male.
Nice.
And I'm going to say Carole King and Sarah Bareilles for women.
Nice.
If you can't tell my music taste is, then.
Yeah. I mean, we share a pretty common musical taste.
Yeah.
When I come down in the morning and turn on the Sirius XM to
James
Taylor or John Mayer.
Yeah.
Those are my go-to guys.
Carole
King. Yeah. Well, Carole King comes on after James Taylor. So. All right, number 5, and this is your last question so far. You're 4 for 4. You're at 80%. Okay. If you get this question right,
I get 100%.
You go to an A. If you don't, you stay at a kind of a B-. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So pressure's on. What is the REO Speedwagon song that has the deepest meaning for you, and why? two-part question.
This is so sad, but the first thing that came to my mind was that I don't really listen to REO Speedwagon. Sorry, Dad.
It's all right.
But no, if I had to choose one, honestly, I think it's either Let Milo Find You, because that was kind of a lullaby song that you wrote for me.
I did.
Or I Believe in Santa Claus. Because, you know, Mom and I sang background vocals on that when I was young, and the song was kind of written as a way to like keep believing. And so I would probably say those two songs.
I think that's a great answer.
Thank you.
You passed with
Yes.
an A+.
All right. Well, with that,
All right.
shall we keep the tables turning
Mm.
and maybe sing a little tune to
Maybe
close out the
sing
show?
a little tune to close out the show.
Yes.
Holly, why didn't I think of that?
I don't know.
We have another special guest waiting in the wings, but he can wait till next week.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
we'll leave people
bring
a little
a little
cliffhanger.
cliffhanger. Good old Hollywood cliffhanger.
All right, so here's my guitar. Happen to have a pick. We'll pray it's in tune. And by the way, thank you, Holly, for doing such a great job. Thanks to all the people.
Yes, for
that
submitting
have
questions.
submitted questions.
This show would quite literally be pointless without your questions.
I know.
There would be nothing for me to pick.
And it's so much fun. I mean,
I know.
we really do enjoy this.
And you guys ask great questions, like stuff that I definitely would not have thought about.
I know.
Yeah.
So everybody, you know, we all need to stay at home. We all need to stay healthy. You know, wash our hands,
Wash
keep
our
our
hands,
social distance.
distance.
And we are going to get through this as long as we keep on rolling.
Yes.
As soon as you are able, woman, I am willing to make the break that we are on the brink of. My cup is on the table, my love is spilling. So just go ahead and give for you to take and drink of.
So if you're tired of the same old story, oh, turn some pages. I will be here when you are ready to go with the changes.
Ooh. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Ooh, roll with the changes. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Ooh, roll with the changes. Take it, Holly.
I knew it had to happen. Felt the tables turning. Got me through my darkest hour. I heard the thunder clapping, and I felt the desert burning. Until you poured on me like a sweet sun shower.
But if you're tired of the same old story, ooh, not better time from pages. We'll not be here when you are ready. Roll with the changes, baby. Roll with the changes. Oh, you know you got to keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Oh, roll with the changes. Gotta keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Oh, roll with the changes. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Oh, roll with the changes. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Oh, you got to keep on rolling. Everybody's got to keep on rolling, yeah. Everybody got to keep on rolling with the changes. Woo!
Woo! Yay! There we go.
There we go, girls. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching.
Woo, woo,
If you want
woo.
another episode, leave some comments, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
be here next week too.
We'll be here.
Thanks, guys. You keep my direction. You make everything so clear. As I wonder, I'm seeing you inside. You're a candle in the window on a cold night. I'm getting closer than I ever thought I might. I forgot what I started fighting for. It's time to finish you to destroy. Cause I can't fight this anymore. I forgot what I started fighting for. It's the fire to clear on the floor. I'm catching the door. Baby, I can't fight this feeling. Since I saw you, been running around in circles in my mind, and it always seems that I'm following you, boy. If you just reach in your faces, and before I will fly. Oh, even as I wonder how I'm keeping you inside. You're a candle in the window on a cold dark winter's night. I'm getting closer than I ever thought I might. 'Cause I can't fight this anymore. I forgot what I started fighting for. It's time to bring this shit to the shore and go with yours forever. I can't fight this feeling anymore. I forgot what I started fighting for. If I let you show on the floor, to the door, baby, I can't fight this feeling anymore.
Holly picks, what have I gotten myself into? Whoa, Holly picks, yeah, Holly picks. She picks my shirt, she picks my shoes. We'll be all across the country, just like a ride down Route 66. So Saturday at noon, this is where to tune, right here at Holly Picks.